Alright, welcome back. This is a review of the Smackdown January 20th, 2012 edition of Sin City Smackdown. I guess they're in Las Vegas, so they want to do a special Sin City show where you have to spin a wheel and do a gimmick match for every match on the card. They start the show with Daniel Bryan coming out talking about AJ being run over for the millionth time once again. He cuts a good promo on the Big Show, says he's a freak, basically does a good job of putting himself over as a heel. Tells Big Show he just needs to quit and that he's glad he's not there tonight because he didn't want to hold himself accountable for what he might do. That was pretty funny. And then they cut to the announcers and they're talking about AJ and they're all sad, and then Michael Cole says, well, you can't mourn forever. And that was also funny. This was a really goofy show the whole way through. It was pretty crazy stuff and a lot of gimmicks used. Every match was a gimmick and there was a lot of comedy. So it was a goofy SmackDown, but it was pretty entertaining for what it was. They cut to a backstage promo with Alicia, Santino, Ezekiel Jackson, and Hornswoggle playing casino games. Oksana and Teddy Long are standing by the wheel, and Cody Rhodes comes up. And he says the last time his brother Goldust spun one of these, he was in a Showgirls match. And Teddy Long says, well, just, go ahead, spin the wheel. So Cody spins and gets a player's choice match, where he gets to basically pick whoever he wants to wrestle for this night. And he says, I pick him. And the camera kind of makes it look like he picked Big Zeke, Ezekiel Jackson, but in reality he picks Hornswoggle. And they do like a small comedy bit. It was pretty funny stuff. So Cody Rhodes goes out to the ring, and Hornswoggle comes out. Cole keeps calling him a troll, which is kind of weird, and saying, Cody's the last chance for the Rhodes family to redeem their name, and putting over the... I heard from the rumors that it's supposed to be Cody Rhodes versus Goldust at WrestleMania. So I guess they want to keep putting that angle over. He attacks Hornswoggle outside, just beats him up really bad. Justin Gabriel comes out, makes the save, and basically attacks Cody Rhodes, throws him in the ring, grabs a microphone, and says, pick on someone your own size, unless you would rather do a Vegas Showgirl match. So Cody agrees to the match, but says it's only if it's non-title. He basically just beats up Gabriel. They have a decent match. He beats him clean in the middle of the ring with Crossroads. That was it. Backstage, Henry is ready to spin the wheel for his match against Daniel Bryan later tonight. He spins a lumberjack match. He tells Teddy he should be responsible for what happened to AJ, and he should be responsible for what's going to happen to Daniel Bryan later tonight. They cut back to the ring, and it is a tag match with Epico and Primo versus the Usos, except it's going to be tornado tag, where you don't have to tag in your partner, but all four men are going to be in the ring at the same time. The Usos, who are actually Rikishi's sons, the old WWE star Rikishi, they put on a pretty decent match. The Usos aren't bad. Epico and Primo aren't bad, so it was kind of just average. I think they just haven't really made names for themselves, so they're still kind of on the superstar, WWE superstar show type era of their career. But pretty decent match. Primo hits a backbreaker, gets the win. Oksana and Teddy Long are backstage again, and they're doing some kind of bit about how she likes to pull on the slots until the money comes out, and just these really strong innuendos to like sex, which isn't very PG at all, but whatever. I guess maybe they're trying to inch away from being so PG and get it back to the way it was, but I don't know for sure. It just seems like they've been doing that lately, with R-Truth saying the Pinocchio thing on Raw, CM Punk calling people bitches and stuff like that, so they may be trying to like get a little bit more away from PG. Maybe like a little bit more of Attitude Era stuff thrown in every week. But Sheamus comes out to see what his match with Wade Barrett's going to be. And he spins the wheel and gets a tables match. So we go back to the ring where it's Brodus Clay and Vicky Guerrero in a dance-off. This is the pinnacle of the goofiness that was on SmackDown. Basically, Vicky does horrible dancing. I mean, she's working hard to dance this bad. Like, it looks horrible. I mean, nobody is this bad of a dancer. It's impossible. So she's obviously working to dance this badly. And it shows. So, Brodus' turn to dance. His girls do some dancing first. Booker T goes crazy on commentary for it, which is pretty funny. Then Brodus Clay stands in the middle and just shakes his legs. And that's it, basically. He wins. Vicky starts crying. And all of a sudden, William Regal's music hits. Pretty strange. It gets weirder. So Regal comes out to the ring and says, "How dare you hurt this buxom wench, Vicky Guerrero?" And Brodus calls him a funky chicken. So Regal gets back in the ring and he starts dancing and does some crazy dance moves himself. And then Brodus hits him with the crossbody funk it move. I don't know if they're setting up a Regal versus Brodus feud or this was just done for comedy. I don't know. It was pretty strange though, regardless. Sheamus versus Barrett in the tables match is next. Decent match, some good table spots. They teased the table pretty good, pretty originally. I liked it. It was cool. Sheamus was about to win with the Razor's Edge through the table, stacked up in the corner, when he's distracted all of a sudden by Jinder Mahal. So he puts Barrett down, he punches Jinder Mahal off the apron. Wade kicks him in the stomach, tosses him through the table. Sheamus loses. Wade leaves, and Jinder Mahal gets in the ring. He sets up a table in the opposite corner, and he tries to throw Sheamus into it. Sheamus gets behind him, Brogue kicks him, and then does a spine buster / spear type move through the table. I really don't know why Jinder Mahal is even still on here, why they're giving him a push. They have already done so much damage to this guy that the fans will never see him as a threat. He can never be seen as a good guy. He's just a waste. And he's taking up a spot that could be better used to another guy. It's not Jinder Mahal's fault. I like Jinder Mahal, but the WWE has damaged this guy so much already that it can't go back. You can't go back on that. So, I mean, he's always losing, and now that they're giving him a push, no one sees him as a legitimate threat, so this entire thing is just a huge waste of time, and eventually they'll see that and get rid of him anyway. DiBiase versus Hunico with Camacho in a flag match is next. Whoever gets the flag from the corner wins. They have two flags set up. One's American, one's Mexican flag. And you have to get your flag to win the match. So these guys come out with poles, these referees and just backstage people come out and set up these two poles and put the flags on top of them. It's obvious that the wheel, this casino lottery wheel, is rigged. I mean, it's wrestling, I know, but even this, like, they can't for one night just make it seem legit, that it's just random. They still have to plan everything out. I mean, what are the odds that they're ready for a flag match with a Mexican guy, Hunico, versus DiBiase, an American guy? And they got the Mexican flag and the American flag already backstage waiting to go. And they're just sitting there saying, "Oh my God, I hope it lands on a flag match because that would be perfect for tonight's show." And lo and behold, it lands on a flag match. Like, it's obvious this whole thing is set up. But this was probably the worst match on the show, if only because the gimmick was horrible. I mean, it was just on a pole match. It was really boring. At one point in the match, though, DiBiase is running at Hunico. Hunico flips him over the rope, and DiBiase flies through the air. Like, Hunico tosses him out. It was extremely dangerous looking. Luckily, DiBiase wasn't hurt. Even Booker T said, "Oh my God, that was crazy." Yeah, that was a really dangerous, unnecessary spot, and I would be chewing him out if I was DiBiase backstage after that. Like, are you trying to kill me or what? So, eventually, Hunico runs up to get his flag. DiBiase stops him, hits him with a $1 Million Dream Cobra Clutch type slam move, and he grabs the American flag and wins the show. Apparently, this entire feud is based on the fact that Hunico and Camacho wanted to be invited to a DiBiase posse party and were not invited. So that's the entire reason they're mad and feuding with DiBiase. I guess it's just a way for these guys to have something to do, and Sin Cara is injured, so Hunico can't really feud with him anymore. And it's just, I don't know. DiBiase versus Hunico and Camacho. Probably going to happen again next week. So Drew McIntyre is backstage, and he's getting the weekly "you will be fired if you lose a match" talk, except this time Teddy says, I just can't do it again, you're fired. All of a sudden, Santino comes up to him, and he says, people are saying you beat me, or I beat you last week, and it was all luck. So I don't want you to fire Drew McIntyre. I want you to give him one more chance, and I'm going to beat him again and prove it was not luck. I legit can beat this guy. So Teddy says, all right. Drew spins the wheel. It's a blindfold match. Now, this match was actually pretty funny. It was goofy. The blindfolds basically consist of 2 black bags over each other's heads. Except they also put like a little black bag on Santino's Cobra hand. And that was funny. And the guys just stumble around. They obviously can see through the bags. They just do some spots. Drew McIntyre swings and hits the pole and hurts his hand type stuff. Santino's throwing kicks at nothing. He uses the crowd, though, which was cool. He spins his hand around and the crowd boos, and then when he points at McIntyre, they cheer so he can kind of figure out where he is. At one point, he's about to Cobra the ref, and Drew McIntyre lifts up the hood and is looking, so he's like cheating, but then he gets knocked over the top. Santino uses the crowd again and hits him with the Cobra, and he beats Drew McIntyre clean with the Cobra. He doesn't kick out of one hit with the Cobra. Nothing else happens to him in the match except when he hits his hand on the pole. This guy is such a wasted talent. It's amazing. I mean, I can't believe they're doing this with him. They're jobbing him out like he's Jinder Mahal. I mean, Jinder Mahal is getting a bigger push than Drew McIntyre right now. And I really like Drew McIntyre. So I think it sucks for him, but man, when you start losing in a match to a Cobra, that's about as low as you can get in the WWE right now, I think. And it's just a shame for the guy. They could do a lot of cool stuff with him. I think they should do a type of united, like a European invasion type angle with Sheamus, Barrett, Drew McIntyre, and have kind of a European invasion and have those 3 guys as heels just start attacking wrestlers on the WWE like the Nexus did. And then the only way people can fight back is to unite against them. I thought that would be a pretty cool gimmick. Do something like that. They have these guys. It would be perfect for them. They're all good workers, but instead they have them job to Santino and same old stuff. The main event is Bryan versus Henry. Daniel Bryan versus Mark Henry in a lumberjack match. Lumberjacks are mostly jobbers. I think Sheamus and Cody Rhodes are the biggest stars out there. Wade Barrett, Ezekiel Jackson, DiBiase. But yeah, it's mostly just Yoshitatsu type guys. Heath Slater. Just Usos, those types of guys. But anyway, Daniel Bryan starts the match, attacks Mark Henry. They're fighting. He gets tossed outside, and he's yelling at the Lumberjacks, "Don't touch me. Don't you guys dare touch me." And he keeps getting, bumped on the apron, but he's not completely out of the ring, so he keeps yelling at these guys, and he's working the Lumberjacks. Well, at one point, he gets tossed out, and he starts fighting the lumberjacks off. He finally gets back in the ring, and Mark Henry gets knocked out. And the lumberjacks are attacking him, trying to get him back in the ring. Daniel Bryan reaches out and starts kicking at the lumberjacks through the ropes. So the lumberjacks hit the ring, and chaos ensues. Mark Henry tries to fight him off so he can finish his match because it's for the title. So he wants to win the match, and these lumberjacks are just causing havoc inside the ring. He's throwing guys left and right. Daniel Bryan just grabs the belt and leaves. Mark Henry just tries to fight the lumberjacks. Lumberjacks start fighting each other. It looks like the Royal Rumble. And, Royal Rumble's in a week, so they're setting it up, and they're just trying to promote the pay-per-view. So basically all these lumberjacks are causing chaos in the ring. It looks like a Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan leaves, and as he's walking out backstage, Teddy Long says, what's going on? What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Just leaving. And Daniel Bryan says, this isn't fair. You made me fight the Big Show in a no DQ match. This week it's a lumberjack match. What do you want me to do next? Wrestle on the moon? And Teddy Long says, no, you're going to defend the belt at the Royal Rumble in a 3-way cage match. You, Mark Henry, and the Big Show. And that is I guess that's on the Royal Rumble card now. And that actually sounds pretty interesting. So it wasn't a bad SmackDown. It was pretty entertaining. Very goofy, but it was alright, I guess. Not too bad. So I hope you enjoy the show. I will probably have this uploaded tomorrow, actually. So then I will be doing a video for Ring of Honor's Saturday Night TV show. Sometime tomorrow, I guess. So thank you for listening, and I hope you come back for the Ring of Honor show and all my future shows, and subscribe if you haven't. And thank you for listening. Bye.